Now, next tonight. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day. An estimated 703,000 people die by suicide worldwide each year, and it's the leading cause of death for both males and females aged 20 to 34 in the UK. Alice Hendy lost her only sibling, her brother Josh, to suicide in 2020. He was just 21. Josh had been researching techniques to take his own life via harmful internet searches. So, Alice set up Ripple, a digital tool with which, if a user searches for harmful content online, they will first be guided through a filter of breathing exercises and then other simple strategies, helplines and services. To date, Ripple has been deployed on over 1.8 million machines worldwide and intercepted just under 20,000 harmful online searches. It continues to save lives from suicide on a daily basis. I've spoken to Alice earlier and asked her to tell me about her brother.
Josh was my little brother. He was 7 years my junior, my only sibling. He was life and soul of the party. His hobbies included music. We used to go to lots of concerts and gigs and festivals together up and down the country. He used to even DJ at his friends' parties and so on. So music was really his passion. He also loved football, big West Ham United fan. With myself, we'd regularly go to football matches together. We were incredibly close. We go on breaks to different cities across Europe together, celebrate each other's birthdays every year by taking the day off of work, and we grew up in a very close-knit, small family.
And had you any inkling that there was something wrong?
Josh took his own life in November of 2020, so we were just really coming to grips really with COVID at that particular time. Josh had struggled throughout COVID with his mental health. He was vocal about how he was finding things tough, but nobody knew the extent of that, to be honest. We were all finding things tough at that time. You don't expect your 21-year-old brother to then go on and take his own life. So there were minimal signs. But I think really the key message here is that sometimes that there actually aren't any signs at all, and mental health doesn't discriminate. It can happen to anybody at any time.
And what were the little signs, the minimal signs, as you've described them? What were they?
Josh put on a significant amount of weight. When you see someone regularly, you don't really notice it as much. But looking back, I think that was actually a sign. It showed that he wasn't looking after himself. He also lost interest in his appearance. He used to be very, very keen on making sure that he was looking good, wearing nice clothes, gelling his hair up when he went out, and all of that changed. He shaved all of his hair off. He would be wearing clothes that he had no care for. They weren't washed. Just lost complete interest, to be honest, in his appearance and what he looked like. And actually looking back, they are all signs that somebody might be struggling with their mental health. At that time, I didn't know that. So I'm on a mission now to really use my ignorance at that particular time as an action point for people out there now to stop this happening to them and their families.
And how you're at, and we'll talk about Ripple in a moment or two, but what Josh had been doing, he had been researching techniques to take his own life on the internet.
That's right. So Josh had been going online and conducting really harmful searches to do with how to end his life. And when he actually did that, he was given tips, encouragement. He was even given pain scales for each method of suicide to help him make a decision. And I found all of that material obviously after Josh had actually taken his life. So I had no idea that he was accessing this content. And I just couldn't believe really that this stuff existed on the internet, and these individuals exist where they are, actively encouraging people to do this.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Mm.
And so when you saw this, had he been looking at this material for a long time?
He'd been looking at it for a fair few months, to the extent where he had been practicing, able to, find materials and so on that would aid him in taking his own life. And I just couldn't believe the scope of this. This isn't stuff that you would come across, just on the dark web. This is readily available, accessible stuff that you really don't have to look hard to find. And the introduction, the very delayed introduction of the online safety bill will go, some way into mitigating that. Not far enough, but it will go some way. And, hopefully these individuals and these websites will eventually be held accountable, really, for their actions and the material that they're outwardly publishing and posting online on a daily basis.
Are they making money out of it? Or what is it? What's their motivation?
Yeah, absolutely. So the most recent example would be Kenneth Law, the chef that's based over in Canada, who's currently having to answer for his actions and was recently, I believe, apprehended by the National Crime Agency. Kenneth Law was selling poisonous substances over the internet to vulnerable individuals who were contacting him in a state of suicidal ideation and outwardly asking Kenneth Law to supply them with harmful substances that will allow them to end their life. So that was the most recent example, and Kenneth Law was making thousands out of those individuals.
So what did you decide to do?
When I looked through Josh's search history, I just couldn't believe what I was looking at. And I also couldn't believe that there was nothing out there online that existed to intervene or interrupt anybody who's so desperately low that they are actively searching for how to end their life. So because nothing existed, I created my own piece of technology. It's called Ripple. It's a browser extension. It can be downloaded on Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Opera, Firefox, Safari browsers. And once downloaded, it means that if an individual was to go online and conduct a harmful search relating to the topic of self-harm or suicide, then Ripple would intervene and interrupt that search, provide that person with a short breathing exercise at the beginning, which has been statistically proven to help that person reset what they're thinking, and then provide them with a selection of mental health resources that they can access both now and in the longer term. And it can also be deployed through Wi-Fi networks as well. So really, since Josh died, I've been on a mission to get Ripple on as many computers, as many Wi-Fi networks as possible at schools, colleges, universities, workplaces, businesses, to save lives and ultimately stop them from losing a loved one in this way, like myself.
And it's working, isn't it?
It is working. So I launched Ripple on World Suicide Prevention Day in 2021. So not long, really, after my brother had taken his life. And since that point, it's now had over 1.9 million downloads worldwide. It's interrupted just under 20,000 genuine harmful online searches. And even though the technology doesn't track or capture any personally identifiable information at all, we have, as a charity, been approached now by 26 individuals to tell us that they are still here because Ripple intervened at their most vulnerable point. And it's that really, Stephen, that keeps me ticking along on a daily basis.